Give it to you, big. Oh man, what was the final? 45-0. Yeah. Let's see what 2014?
2009.
9, I'm sorry. Yep, that's good. 66-14.
66-14, right?
Right.
That was special for you, Tony. That was diamond special.
Just off the table, yeah.
All right, we'll get started here in a few minutes. Player-wise, expect Baron Morton, Rabbit, Xavier White, and Muddy. I can't remember his name. Marquise. I'm like, he's Muddy to me. All right. Who has this side? Okay. I'm just making sure I know who it was.
Coach, how are y'all?
Good. Woody makes our lives easier too.
Oh, a lot with me for sure. Now Debbie won't, be upset with me whenever we get home. Going through, I was talking to Chris earlier and Matt. I mean, just a complete game, this tonight from our team. 4 turnovers. It was really good to get that going. We've been talking about it. Y'all hear me talk about it every week, and we to get 4 of them, really kind of dictates the score that we had because of limiting their opportunities. But we had our right tackle get banged up during the week, and had to Matt Keeler started off the season at left tackle, and we moved him over to right tackle, and we've been shifting guys around. And, man, I was just, after the game in the locker room, I told the players, how proud I was of the way he fought, and he played really well. But that's really the nature of our team. If you think about it, whenever Miles isn't here, then X or Nehemiah stepping up. J.J. Sparkman's hand, and you see Trey take more of a load, and that's just how these guys are. They play for each other. They play so hard for each other, and man, it was a lot of fun. I was proud of this team from bouncing back, because if y'all would have been in here Sunday after that OSU game, it was not a lot of fun. We had a lot of guys that poured their heart into that game, and we didn't come out on top. And then you have a bye week, and that's no fun going into a bye week off a loss. And I was really proud of the way they responded, how fast we played. And I thought, man, it just shows what kind of shape our guys are in. And then how about rushing for 239 yards, man? That's a lot of fun. I always go over the O-line whenever we rush for a touchdown and tell them how much I love that, because I really do. And I think we had, at least 3 rushing touchdowns. So with that, I will open up and take questions.
We'll start with Jared. Please keep it at 1 or 2 so we can get to everyone, please.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned a lot of it, but take 4, ran the ball, played great defense. I don't think y'all had a lot of serious injuries, maybe even any serious injuries today.
No, I think we came out clean. I haven't talked to Drew yet, but there was nobody that, going into halftime that he said, hey, we got to watch this or anything like that. And, and we're getting closer and closer to getting, guys back. I mean, I don't see why there's any reason that, like, Miles doesn't play next week. And so that's going to be big. But, whoever's out there, I know they're going to play hard for the Red Raiders.
Along those lines, Monroe Mills, what kind of timeline can we expect with him?
We're hoping he's back next week. It was MCL, not anything major. It's crazy. We weren't even in a 9-on-7 good on good. It was more of a unit teach, and he just got rolled up. Guy trips, and he's gap hinging, so his back is turned, and they roll into him, and he felt like. But, that's how players are. He felt like he could have gone today. We didn't want to take that chance, because it is a strained MCL. But hopefully he felt a lot better as the week went on, hopefully getting back. But if not, I thought Matt played really well.
And then all those things that went right, I don't know if you could draw up a performance any better than this. How were you able to bounce back? And then what kind of momentum can this produce moving forward the rest of the season?
Well, I thought that we did. We played really clean, and we took care of the football on offense. We had some times where, they did a great job attacking the ball, and there was some balls on the ground, and, the ball was either blown dead or we recovered it. But defensively, you got some long corners. We knew they were going to go after us with the coverages that we play. And I thought those guys attacked the ball. Rabbit's interception was huge because I did a bad job right there at the end whenever we gave up negative yards. We should have run the ball right there and made them burn a timeout before we punted. And, we ended up having an incompletion. And I told Rabbit, I said, man, thanks for bailing me out because, we gave them way too much time right there going into half. You didn't want to do that after giving up the negative play.
Coach, you mentioned earlier that this is probably the most complete game you guys have played so far this year. What do you chalk that up to? Is that the extra preparation with the bye week? What do you think helped really make you guys make that big step in the right direction?
I think a belief in what we're doing. We've played well at home, and then we've gone on the road and we've played well at times throughout the game, but we haven't put a game together where we could win. And I just think there's a belief with this team. They believe in each other. They believe in what the coaches are trying to get them to do. And, it did help. There's no doubt that the bye week helped because, Barron's ankle was not like if you'd have come to practice on Tuesday, you'd have been like, yeah, don't know. I told Chris, I said, man, I think the dude was either in class or in treatment every moment of the day. And he started feeling better, and then he felt really good yesterday. Then we woke up this morning and walking in the bathroom with him, and he's throwing up. And I'm going, gosh, dang, man, can it get any worse for this kid? And but, we got his stomach settled down. He felt good, and, man, I thought he played. The pace that he played with today really helped us and is helping our offensive line.
Fourth down philosophy, too, is to kind of really look at the analytics. But when you guys get hot like that and are converting fourth down after fourth down after fourth down, do you look at the analytics and say, yeah, this is a riskier one, but we're going to try it anyways because we're hot right now?
No, we look at the numbers. Really honestly, whenever that number comes across, that here's the magic number, if we're not at it, we're going to punt the ball or we're going to kick a field goal. There was a point that we kicked a field goal, instead of going for it to go to 17, I think, and we just, it's not really if it's hot or not. It's just really listening to the numbers and then feeling good about, what we have. The biggest thing I think that's starting to happen, and we spent a lot of time last week talking about really understanding what we're trying to do. I'll give you an example. When we played OSU, there's 3rd and 7. We called hitches just on football like IQ. The receiver converts and he goes past the sticks, which normally that's what you want them to do. But because we are going to go for it there, if we're 4th and 2, then we don't. If we call a play that it's going to be at 5 yards, we want that ball to make 5 yards, and if we get the first down, then we've made a guy miss and broken a tackle. And so the play call dictates if he's going to take it past the sticks. And we talked a lot about that, and we really started talking more and more to our players about, Barron and Donnie and, Shuck about, hey, getting you to understand, like right here, maybe traditional football says this, but this is what we're trying to do. We want them to understand this is the magic number 2. And if we don't get to it, we're going to have to punt. And those guys don't like punting.
Coach, talk about how Barron has evolved from last week to this week and how he is continuing to show you why he's the choice for QB1.
This is going to be kind of crazy, but he threw the ball out. He threw the ball away. I know at least twice, but maybe 3 times. Well, those are 3 sacks against OSU. Our O-line gets beat up sometimes, but I always tell y'all it's kind of the play call and it's the quarterback and it's the receivers. It's everybody when that happens. And, we gave up 4 sacks, but we really should have only given up 1 sack against OSU because we were trying to make a play that the ball should just, we should throw it away. And I thought today that's what he did. He didn't get the 1 sack. I think we gave up 1 sack, and the one we gave up, they went 0, all-out pressure, and we saw it. And, that's me. I should have called a timeout.
And talk about the secondary. They were tapping away balls and making it where it was very competitive for them and making it hard for West Virginia to make any completions. Yeah,
we were, as a secondary, I say we, the guys, and Marcel and TD and myself were frustrated, that we felt like we should have had 3 interceptions, at least 1 for sure, against OSU, and that was just not competing for the ball at the level that we needed to compete. And so that's been a big emphasis in, coming into the game. Coverage-wise, we kind of knew there was some stuff that they were going to do, to take shots. They got 2 big outside receivers. I thought we did a good job. And then, if you go back and ask Rabbit, I would ask him because I think he's talking, but Marcel was calling the play the way they lined up. And, I'm sure Rabbit knew exactly because Marcel goes, hey, they're fixing to run this. They're fixing to run this. And that was just off a film study. And it definitely looks like Rabbit and Marcel were on the same page of what they were going to run because, Rabbit almost ran the route and, intercepted the ball. That was huge.
Coach, we heard that Cam Valdez was supposed to return today. We didn't see him out there. What was the story?
Just those guys being hot, and then with a guy coming back from injury, we're not going to put him in at the end of the game. We let Bryson go. But good. I feel good about Cam. Just with those 2 guys, they played really, really well. There's no need to play him yet. And so I'm going to come in here Monday, and I expect to tell y'all that Miles Price is back and again, Cam's back. It was good to get Adrian Fry back. You could see some rust But he played really well on special teams, but you could see some rust, but it's good to have him back because he can play 3 different positions in that secondary, so that gives us depth and keeps us fresh. But I expect to have that guy back. Expect to have Tyler cleared fully Monday, and, so we'll go in this week as healthy as we've been since week 1 coming out of fall camp.
And kind of another guy that you might end up getting back next week, J.J. Sparkman.
Yeah, we feel like J.J. will be back. We got him in a cast right now, but that's just preventative. Whenever they did the X-ray, Drew said that he felt 1 more week and he would be able to, put something on there that would still protect his thumb but be able to allow him to play.
And finally, with the quarterbacks, you still think we're going to see all 3 next weekend?
Yeah, you'll definitely see all 3. If he gets cleared, you'll see all 3. And I don't know, whoever has the best week is, probably expecting Morton to go out there, but there's a 3 quarterback package that we're all 3 of them on the field that we've got some really good stuff that we haven't been able to pull out yet. And as soon as he gets cleared, then we're definitely going to do it.
Coach, was the field goal in the second quarter kind of a turning point in the game for you, given kind of what's happened with the field goal kicking the last couple of games?
I was really that the bye week, and then we haven't practiced in the stadium at all this year, other than like fall camp scrimmages. And Wednesday, our last break going into our last 3 periods, we came down and did them in the stadium, and we did that because we wanted to end practice with the missed kicks. And so we literally had the 4 balls set up again on what we missed, and there's whistles going off. I'm standing in their second step, so they have to retrace their steps. I'm blowing the whistle, calling timeout. Gino's kicking. Anything we could do to create chaos. And, you could see those guys. They had a lot of confidence in practicing that way because, Wolf would be the first one to tell you, his 3 misses, he has not hit the ball well. It's not really that he's been short, and it's not that he's just pushed a lot. It's just they haven't come off his foot. And I think, just not worrying about being perfect and striking the ball, doing everything you're supposed to do and just striking the ball, had a lot of confidence.
Probably put a huge emphasis on this, but it had to be pleasing to you to see the second effort of your team from almost the start to finish today.
Yeah, our guys are playing really hard. Now, if you're on the headset, we missed some tackles today that we definitely have to fix before next week. And a lot of it was with them running counter, and them getting extra yards. We'll look at the film and see why that happened, but that'd definitely be a huge emphasis in practice.
Love Texas high school football coaches, and Barron, of course, is the son of a football coach who I've known since 1985. How much does what James Morton has done for his son reflect as part of being a coach's son in football?
Well, he didn't say this to me, but he said it to Kenny after OSU. He said, I thought my son was tougher than that whenever he started limping. So that kind of just sets the tone for coaches' kids. They have kind of been raised to win that wins and losses, and how you feel after a game. And so I know he's really excited. It means a lot. Barron's a West Texas kid, and he's out here playing for his dream school. I was recruiting him at the old school, and I didn't know that. I'd have stopped recruiting him if I'd have known that. And I'm proud of him. I know he's really excited, and what's really cool is our locker room. Everybody's excited for every single person in there, man. They're, if somebody catches the ball or blocks or whatever it is, this team just feeds off each other and cares about each other.
Coach, West Virginia came into this game with a pretty good run defense, and yet y'all ran for around 240. Did you expect that sort of success coming into this game, running the ball?
I didn't. I thought we could have, kind of the magic mark rushing is 150, and haven't lost a lot of games. I think we got beat. I think the last game we rushed for 190 and didn't win the game, but, that was kind of the mark. I think that tempo definitely is helping us run the ball. We've rushed the ball the last 2 games, the best we have all year long, and we've tempoed more in the last 2 games than we have all year long. And so I definitely think, that it keeps D linemen on the field longer than what they want to be, and so I think we're in good shape, and I think that's affecting some of the run game. And then I think we had some clean runs today, running counter. It was a big week for that. We really emphasized that run this week. Even in our tempo, which you don't see a lot of people tempoing and running counter. It's mostly inside zone or outside zone, and we really worked on that because that's really one of our better runs. And I think Taj and Sir Roderick really kind of feed off of each other, and both had really good games, and kept the chains moving when we needed to, also on short yardage.
And your backup linebackers today, Tyreek and Dimitri and Jacob, really rose up and made a lot of big plays. Could you just talk about that group a little bit?
Well, Dimitri, it's been coming because what we did after we lost Bryce Ramirez, which, by the way, if y'all didn't see him, he was on the sideline and he was walking. And so pretty awesome to see that kid, and he's been smiling a lot. He's still on crutches at times, but he walked up the tunnel without crutches, and so really good. But whenever we lost Bryce, we moved Dimitri from inside to outside because he has some of those skills. He's long. He understands coverage from there. And you saw it coming. Like, he had a really good week. He didn't play as much against Oklahoma State, but he was practicing really well. And then, had a great bye week, had a great week. So that really helps because that gives us two deep right there with him and Josiah Pierre. And then, we really do want to get to 22 guys playing between 18 and 22 guys on defense. And so getting Fry back helps us do that. But then those two inside linebackers, they've done a really good job. And, we had I felt like DeRuiter had some good run blitzes that helped them. Jacob Rodriguez had almost, I don't know if it was a tackle for a loss, but it was right on the line of scrimmage or maybe a half a yard gain. That was on a run blitz, those guys have a really good understanding. Those four guys inside, they spend a lot of time together and a lot of time, talking about what they see. And, it definitely helps co-sign Krishan where they don't have to play every snap.
Go ahead, Stan.
You mentioned it a little bit there, but what was the biggest improvement from the last two games to now with the defensive side of the ball?
Turnovers. You're limiting it. We limited 4 possessions, or we stopped 4 possessions just on that right there. And then we also, I think, had a 4th down stop. I think we started with a 4th down stop and then had 4 turnovers after that, and so we'll count that into, thinking of turnovers when we talk tomorrow about our plan to win. That'll be a part of it. I think that was just a huge part of it. We still didn't get to the quarterback the way we wanted to. They do a great job of running screens and draws, so I think, that was one thing that I wanted to stop and really emphasize this week to the guys. So I think sometimes they probably were playing the screen and draw a little bit longer than, to get into the pass rush. But I thought that was just a huge part. The turnovers limiting their opportunities. And then there's hardly, like a block punt and a turnover. That shifts the momentum of a game faster than anything.
Joey, you talked about the importance of winning the middle 8, and today you have, during that segment, you have Dadrian's interception, Malik's interception, the touchdown pass to Xavier, all came within 2 minutes of clock time. That
was huge. We've done a really good job of in the middle 8, either tying or winning it. But that, man, I'm telling you guys, if you're on our sideline and you go with 4 minutes, then you're going to start hearing everybody yelling. Not just the coaches, the players. One of the players, right when it hit, walks up to me and goes, "Coach, we're in the middle 8." And it's just a belief in what we're doing. The big thing, you ask a great question. The big thing today, the difference in the game was 2 and 3. That's where we've lost games. We've not dominated up front, and we haven't taken the ball away. We've given the ball or turned the ball over too much, and today was a huge part of that.
The cornerback play, as long as Rashad and Malik are, and as aggressive as they're making contested plays, is that enabling Tim to kind of cheat, so to speak, with the rest of the defense?
You know, I would say there's something to that, definitely. You know, there's sometimes that we look like we're in man coverage and we are in a zone, but we're going to play it from the line of scrimmage, you know. And so if they are going vertical, it ends up being in their zone if it's cover 3. And so it looks like that. But the one thing about those guys is they are long and they are very aggressive. And, you know, and we want them to be that way. Coach Marcel Yates is doing a great job with those guys, and they're getting better and better every week. Today was a big step in the right direction for their confidence.
Last week when WVU beat Baylor, Dante Stills tied the school record with 47.5 career tackles for loss, and today he is credited with no tackles and 1 pass breakup. And a lot of that times it seemed like he was on the side that Matt Keeler was. I was curious, what day of the week did Monroe get hurt, and thus how many reps with the ones had Matt had?
So he got hurt Tuesday, right before 9:07. So that's like really the first 5 periods of practice. So Keeler got all of the scout, trade blitz, all the scouts, and then the next day he got all the trade period that we started with, the trade third down, and then he got, you know, all the scout periods. So he got 2 really good days. And then our walkthrough and Fast Friday, so we got all those reps. I mean, our walkthrough offensively, we usually have 100 to 115 reps in the walkthrough. So he's getting those reps. You know, biggest thing about that guy is, one, I think it helped him. He's playing right next to his best friend. Him and Landon Peterson are, you know, if you see one, you see the other. So I think that helped. And then he really does, man. That guy has a really high care factor. I still remember in spring ball of him getting frustrated with me about not getting enough reps and wanting to prove himself. And a guy called him on Thursday and said, "Hey, you're going to have a great game, man. Just fight for us." And he did. He played really well. That 55 is a really, really good football player. And, you know, we helped him. We helped him with the running backs and the tight ends, but there were some times we didn't. And those guys, they did a good job.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank y'all. Wow. 3 tackles for a loss, bro. Huh? Maybe it might have been. It probably made 5%.
Tyree took one of my TFLs.
Thanks for saying that, buddy.
I got you.
I was so mad.
Thought I had 4, man. They might have to really look at that. That was definitely 4, man.
What's up, Don?
They ain't want to give me my phone.
All right, Sean, why don't you start us out?
Rabbit, coach said you bailed him out. This defense held it for a majority of the game and made it very competitive, especially in the secondary, knocking out balls and making them have to make tough plays. What is this secondary and the defense as a whole shown you rather than what you expected at the beginning of this year?
You know, hats off to our D-line. You know, they do a phenomenal job of not making us have to cover for a long time because, you know, scramble drill, it gets tough. You know, when you got a good quarterback like JT, you know, he's a smart quarterback, and scramble drills would enable him to make a few more passes. But our D-line did a great job. And the secondary, Coach Yates has been on us all week. You know what I'm saying? We seen what we could do against Oklahoma State last time we played them. So it just showed a little jump of improvement. So this week he's been harping on us, you know, we gotta get takeaways. You know, that's the only thing that's been killing us. You know, we've been getting TFLs, been getting sacks and all that. We just haven't had any interceptions. So this is our first take 3 on the plan, number 3 on the plan to win. So, you know, it was a fun game for us. You know what I'm saying? So.
How much funner is it when you take 4 and it's everybody's involved? It's not one person. It's a team defensive attack.
No, the coaches always say, you know, we got to get take 3, but that's not a stopping point, you know. So we can get 4 or 5. I was trying to get me another one, you know what I'm saying. Mo was trying to get him one. We weren't trying to come out the game. So, you know, I feel like every game we play is fun because the way we communicate with each other, we're all on the same page. You know, I'm on the same side of the field as him all the time, so me and him are always communicating. So it's always fun watching each other make good plays.
Rabbit, you mentioned how good you guys played from a secondary standpoint today. Can you just walk us through that big interception, and especially considering the fact that it's on a guy like JT Daniels, who's no spring chicken in college football?
So I can't even remember what coverage we in. I want to say we're in man, but yeah, when he released outside, I was like, okay, I know what he's doing, but he wasn't one of their like top receivers, so I didn't think the ball was coming until I turned around. And I'm like, hey, let's go, Rab. Like, I'm literally repeating it in my head, like, let's go. And then I jumped up and I caught it. But I thought I was out of bounds for a second until I seen the ref do this, and I just started turning up. I was excited, yeah. All my teammates come over there and have fun with me. So, yeah, that's the best part, when you make a play and all the teammates come over to have fun with you, celebrate.
This can go to either one of y'all. Do you think that y'all's defensive performance today is indicative of the brand of complementary football that Coach McGuire is trying to instill here in Lubbock?
Yes, I do. To be honest, I think it starts with practice. Like, we harp on just, like, take three, winning the turnover battle, and we do it in practice. We just had to translate it to the game, and I felt, like, good about it. I think our whole team, like he said, hats off to the D-line for not making us cover for that long, and, like, it was just, like, it's a lesson that we learn every day, and like we see that we have opportunities every game to make those take three and well, actually take four today, but we look at it every day and we just work on it. So that's what.
Marquise, can you kind of speak to the aggressiveness the defensive backs have been playing with and how much that's kind of helped the D-line, so to speak? Because I know you guys talk about the take three, but certainly there has to be a little bit of give and take where you're a little bit more aggressive to kind of get those type of plays.
Yeah, so like the D-line, they open it up for us. So, like, we pull our trigger, and it's all, at the end of the day, it's all about doing our 1-11. So the D-line does a great job of keeping everything bottled up for us, and, like, it makes us, they set the tone. So when we see the D-linemen in the game making big-time plays as well, we want to help them out as well. So, like, we'll stay in coverage and try to hold up for them so they can get more plays and sacks and sack opportunities for us to get off the field. But I feel like as a defense, we all work together really well, and we have a connection.
Earlier in the season, but how do you feel your progression has gone so far, especially just with your coverage skills? Because it seems like you've improved either your TFLs or just kind of other things on your game.
So yeah, I think we progressed to an extent. I really do think that we progressed, especially from the beginning of the season. I feel like we had made a lot of strides in coverage as well. And like I said, it started in practice. We see that we could do the things, and just working on it every day and trusting our ability and skills allows us to translate it to the game.
Also, I feel like a little bit of that goes to the skill set we have in our room. You know, it allows the coaches to be able to call the calls they call for us. You know, sometimes you're not going to be able to call those calls the guys you got on the field, but they trust us 100%. You see what I'm saying? Come on, Don.
It's okay.
No, I'm playing. But, yeah, the talent that we have in our room, you know, they trust us, and we trust every call they give. So whatever they call, you know, even if it's a bailout call, you know, you go out there and play 100%, make a play.
Yeah, just showcase our versatility between all the defensive backs.
Talk a little bit about, because Adrian kind of said how you wanted to turn over yourself and you guys didn't want to come out the game. You wanted, turn over. Can you just talk about how fun it is on the sidelines and on that defense when you guys are taking away the ball like this?
Oh, it's very fun. Like, we turn up, like, as a unit the whole game. Like, if only y'all were on the sideline, y'all would see, like, we're still focused in the game and we're still locked in, but we, like, harping. Like, it's like we over there, like, making just, like, I wouldn't say bets. I'll just say, like, we making, like, deals and stuff like, man, who's going to get the first turnover so we can, like, bet push-ups or something like that. Like, yo, we got to get turnovers, and we have fun. We get all the dances. We over there, like, we be ready for it. We be ready to make turnovers in the game, and, like, nobody wants to get out. Like, it's good to get out sometimes to rotate, but we just want to make more plays. So, like, we want to help the team and just keep on adding on to, like, to winning, man, to be honest.
Speaking of push-ups, he owed me 20.
What's that?
He got a turnover.
I got the first one.
He got the first one.
I got the first one.
He got the first one.
And then for either one of you guys, can you talk about how Barron is as a competitor from you guys? What you've seen, in practice on the other side of the ball?
Day. Ever since last year. I mean, I've been saying this. Like, if you'd asked me this question, who was on the quarterback question was the craziest question. I could say a lot of positive things about all of them, but the way that boy throws the ball is unbelievable. We watched the last game. We were on the sideline in the first drive. We all like, oh my. oh my goodness, you know what I'm saying? You know, he was a little tweaked up this game, but it shows the heart he has. You see what I'm saying? Like, not a lot of guys got that heart in him to go out there. You know, they got some good defensive ends, so like they was gonna get some pressure on the ends, but like he's out there dancing. You know, he has the kid love for the game, so he has a lot of fun out there. He trusts all his receivers. Any one-on-one battle we get is going to speaking on X White's touchdown. He sees that. He trusts X White more than he's like our guys are better than their guys. That's how he sees it. So
exactly how he said it. Extremely tough, man. Tough competitor to the max. Even in practice, just
oh
showcases
yeah, I don't
every
like
day.
him at practice. He be talking a little too much when he makes his plays. But yeah, he's my dog.
Tough, man. You're a tough kid.
Anything else for these two guys? Nope. All right.
Time to go dinner. I'll see y'all.
Go dinner.
Bear should be coming.
There you go.
All right, Leo, we'll keep going with Mason.
Baron, first start for you today at the Jones. Leading into this game, and even in Stillwater probably, you got to watch Tyler a little bit. You got to watch Donnie. What was it like being underneath those guys and watching and waiting for your opportunity, and how did you stay ready to finally go out there and show what you could do?
Yeah, it was just a so surreal moment. You know, you get to play in the Jones for the first time with the best fans in the country. It was really cool, and, you know, it's going to be a moment I cherish for a long time, and, you know, it was just really cool to be out there, you know, just finally playing in the Jones.
When your name is called over the loudspeakers as the starter and you get the reception that you get by the fans, what's that mean to you?
It means the world. It really does, you know. Like I said, Lubbock and the atmosphere that we all have, and, you know, it's so real. You know, getting to get the first start and to play for this university it's a tremendous opportunity.
We'll go next to Sean, followed by Carlos, and then Ariel.
Baron, throwing up before the game, is it a bunch of nerves or just wanting to prove to West Texas what you're all about?
Yeah, I just wasn't feeling good the night before. I think I might have ate something that wasn't too good, and so woken up this morning, wasn't feeling good, and I knew I had to get it out of my system. So, you know, just kind of getting that done, and then, you know, getting ready for the game.
What is the tight ends? You've got, you know, X and the tight ends, being able to have outlets, whether it be the tight ends or Xavier, to be able to depend on, to be able to have that outlet.
Yeah, the whole night we were executing well, and, you know, that came from up front with protection, and then it came with you know, going through read progressions and just getting the ball to the playmakers. You know, they make the ball go, and so you know, I just try to do my job, just get the ball to, you know, Mason and Baylor and Teeter, X, you know, all those guys, just to, you know, let them do something with the ball in their hands.
You kind of already alluded to it, but I guess when you were kind of imagining when you were a kid that you were going to be out running onto Jones AT&T Stadium, I guess how was this week for you, and was it what you imagined, or was it kind of tough with all the adversity you kind of had to deal with, including this morning?
Yeah, with all like the practice that we've had for the last year and a half I've been here, you know, just all the preparation that has gone into, you know, just executing on Saturdays. And, you know, I think we did a good job of that today. And so you really just kind of fall back on your training, just like Coach McGuire says. And, you know, I couldn't be more thankful for all the teammates that I have around me.
Xavier, in terms of what you've been able to do the last couple of weeks, I guess, is it just a deal where you're just hot, kind of like the coach talk about, or have you been able to kind of find some zones, or I guess what's kind of allowed you to be so successful?
I just feel like it's more just preparation. I mean, me personally, I feel like I go against the best DBs in the conference. I mean, Mud and Reggie, they give me a great look when we do one-on-ones and team periods. So, I mean, I just feel like it's just preparation of me just having these big weeks I've been having, and then just knowing and doing my job.
You, with that wide receiver room, there's a lot of depth in there. How lucky are you to be able to be a part of a room that is just so talented, and that when anybody's number is called up, you guys kind of go back and forth on who really shines the most?
I mean, it's just, we're all dangerous. I mean, our group name's called Ether, so I mean, it's just, we're just a dangerous group, and I mean, just like you said, we have a whole lot of depth. So each one of us, when our number is called, I mean, we all make a play. So that's really it.
And Baron, You kind of walk us through that first touchdown drive. It was very high tempo. Was that kind of the plan, and is that kind of what we're going to be seeing more from you guys, very high tempo offense?
Yeah, that's what we harp ourselves on, is just our tempo. We beat people up front because we can move the ball fast and we can get around the perimeter, we can get it up front. Just at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how fast your tempo is as long as you can execute. And today our guys, we did a great job up front and, just got the ball to the playmakers.
Baron, I looked on TV a couple of times, and I saw maturity in your eyes. You weren't wild-eyed and bushy-tailed, but how much does that come from being son of a coach and what James taught to you through the years to handle situations?
Yes, sir. I think that just kind of comes back, just like you said, on all your practice and what you've done leading up to this moment. And, after 1 week of playing last week or 2 weeks ago, and then just the game slowing down, just making sure, you're set before the ball snap, where you're going with the ball, that kind of deal. And I think that, each and every week, as a team, we're just going to keep improving on that.
Chris and then Don.
Baron, can you just talk about that touchdown that you got with Xavier and what you saw in the play?
Yeah, it was, other than the play, it was just a really cool moment because he's a Plainsman too, and so my dad coaching at Monterey, and so it's just kind of like that connection coming back together. But, I just, saw a little hole right there, safety's on top, just drove the ball to X, and he did the rest.
And Xavier, can you talk about, I'm just curious what Miles has been like on the sidelines in practice since he's gone down?
He's been high energy. Pregame, he was telling us things we need to work on personally, what our coach tells us in pregame. Just getting our mind right. He's just been a high energy guy, and I'm looking forward to having him back. This probably next week.
One last question from me, Baron. Can you just talk about the wide receiver room? You spread out the ball a lot, and kind of how everybody can make a difference kind of in that room.
Yeah, just like Alex said, we got playmakers everywhere. Tight end room, running backs, receivers, everywhere. And so, when that number's called, just like he said, next person's up, and I have no doubt in my mind that that person's going to step up and make a big play.
You touched on a moment ago your Monterey connection. How long ago did you were held?
Actually, he's known my little brother since elementary. So
me and his little brother went to Murphy together.
So I've heard of Baron before, but just I'd say he's probably been around us for a while.
Baron, what has your treatment schedule been these last couple of weeks?
It's just living in the treatment room, living in there.
What percentage would you say your ankle leg is right now compared to full health?
It's pretty close. I think that it just kind of comes down to adrenaline and all that kind of stuff flowing through your body. So I'm good. I'm not worried about it one bit.
Xavier, I remember you said that you asked to go back to receiver when you saw that Coach Kitley was coming here. Now you're leading the team in receiving yards and tied for the team lead in catches and touchdowns. Is this kind of unfolded the way you envisioned or hoped?
Just when I heard Kitley was coming, I just thought it was a great opportunity just to go back to receiver. That's where I'm more natural at. I could play both, but just having that offense and having the playmakers around me just puts me in a great position where I'm at right now.
And how would you describe your touchdown from how it unfolded, your perspective?
Just pretty much what Baron said. That corner, my game plan was just to beat him outside, but he just came down and covered Taj. So I just found that little hole, and Baron put it in there. And then after that, I just made a move and then got upfield.
All right, I think we'll end it right there. Thank you, everybody.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Monterey won the Friday night.